Hi students, this is Srinivas, Department of Botany. This video is shooted with cell phone camera, so I request you to use your earphones. In the previous class, I discussed about pollen pistil interaction. Today, in this class, I would like to explain about artificial hybridization. What is that? Artificial hybridization. That means, what is artificial hybridization? What are the different types of hybridization? What is the purpose of hybridization? How this artificial hybridization can be done? These points we have to study. Okay, my dear students, let's start. Artificial hybridization, shortly called AH. The cross that occurs between two genetically different plants. Two genetically different plants is called artificial hybridization. Now, types of hybridization, types of artificial hybridization. There are three different types of artificial hybridization. First one is intervarietal hybridization. Second one is interspecific hybridization. Third one, intergeneric hybridization. I want to say the meanings of inter and intra. Meanings of inter and intra. Inter means different. Inter means different or in between. Intra means within or same. These points we have to remember. Right. First one, intervarietal hybridization. That means Brassica oleracea variety botrytis. Here another plant, Brassica oleracea variety gangliodis. This is commonly called cauliflower. This is commonly called nullcole. In botany, that is botanical names, generally plant names are with two components. First word is called generic name. Second component is called species name or specific epithet. In some plants, third component is also there. That third component in plants is called variety. Whereas in zoological names, the third component is called subspecies, not variety. Try to remember this one. The three components in botanical name. First component is called generic name. Second component is called species name or specific epithet. Third component is called variety. In zoological name, if three components are present, first component is called generic name, second component is called species name, third component is called subspecies. Okay? Right. So, try to look two components. The last two components. Remember what I am saying? Try to look last two components. See, this is the species component. This is the variety component. First of all, see the last component, variety. Botrytis, gangliodis. Botrytis, gangliodis. These two varieties are different. Different means you have to say intervariety. Varieties are different, so called intervarietal hybridization. Here variety is botrytis. Here variety is gangliodis. Varieties are different, so called intervarietal hybridization. And see the next component, species, oleracea. Here oleracea, same species name is same. Same means intraspecific. Intra means same or within. Same. That's why it is so called intraspecific. So intervarietal hybridization is also called intraspecific hybridization. Next type, interspecific hybridization, also called intrageneric hybridization. Intrageneric hybridization. Saccharum barberry, Saccharum officinarum. This is sugarcane of North India and this is sugarcane of South India. See what I said? Look, the last two components. Here two components are present. So see the last one, barberry, officinarum. Species, species. Same or different? Species are different. That's why it is so called interspecific hybridization. And see the next component, Saccharum. Saccharum. That is same genus name, same generic. Same genus means it is also called intrageneric. Intra means same or within. Are you understanding, my dear students? I hope that you are understanding. And the last type is intergeneric hybridization. Intergeneric, that is Solanum tuberosum crossed with Lycopersicon esculentum. Lycopersicon esculentum. This is potato, this is tomato. These two plants are crossed and obtain a hybrid called pomato. That means from potato, po is taken and from tomato, mato is taken. Obtained hybrid is so called pomato. Of course, it is a failure variety. So how many types of hybridations are there? 3 types. Intervarietal hybridization, also called intraspecific hybridization. Second one, interspecific hybridization, also called intrageneric hybridization. Third one, intergeneric hybridization. So I am asking one question. Artificial hybridization can be done between 2 different species, 2 different varieties, 2 different genera, all above. See, artificial hybridization is done between 2 different varieties, 2 different species, 2 different genera, all the above. So what we have to say, all the above is the correct answer. That means how? Here in this case, artificial hybridization can be done between 2 different varieties. In this case, artificial hybridization can be done between 2 different species. Here in this case, artificial hybridization can be done in between 2 different genera. So we have to say all the above. So these are the different types of hybridizations. And in yesterday's class, we have discussed pollen-pistil interaction. That means if pollen grains of hibiscus will fall on hibiscus stigma, then they will germinate. That is so called compatible type. Compatible type means right type. Those meanings we have to understand. Compatible means right type. Incompatible means wrong type. Hibiscus pollen grain fall on hibiscus stigma, it will germinate. It is so called compatible type of pollen and stigma. That is compatible pollination. If hibiscus pollen grain fall on datura stigma, they will not germinate naturally. It is so called incompatible pollination. This incompatible pollination can be done artificially. See, these are all artificial hybridization, that is can be done by manipulation, isn't it? See, naturally in plants hybridization is done in compatible of pollen and stigma, that is so called compatible pollination. But artificial hybridization can also be done in incompatible of pollen and stigma, which is so called incompatible pollination. That means here what we done, potato pollen grains may fall on tomato stigma and a variety is obtained so called pomato. This hybridization can be done, possible, of course it will be called incompatible. Because why? Because these two plants are different. That's why it is so called incompatible pollination. Pollen grains of one plant may fall on stigma of another plant. That is so called incompatible pollination, also called wrong type. Artificial hybridization is useful to produce. What is the purpose of artificial hybridization? To produce superior varieties, better varieties. So, in hundreds and thousands of crossings, only one crossing may be successful. Not all the time successful variety not obtained. Isn't it? In hundreds and thousands of crossings, only one crossing may be successful. So it is that crossing is a very time consuming process, that is, and tedious process. That means so much risk is involved. Time consuming and tedious process. Of course, these types of hybridizations are not present in our NCERT syllabus, but these aspects, this concept may come in different chapters. Try to note down all these points, my dear students. Now I am going to explain about steps in artificial hybridization. That means there are some steps are involved in artificial hybridization. What are those? In bisexual flowers, first of all, we have to select the parents. Selection of parents. Next one, emasculation. Next one, bagging. Next one, artificial cross pollination. Next one, rebagging. Next one, fruits and seed formation. Next, F1 generation, F2 generation, and later on F3 generation. Okay, now I am going to explain step by step. First of all, we have to select the parents. Selection of parents. That means the character should be in homozygous condition. If the characters are in heterozygous condition, those heterozygous conditions should be converted into homozygous condition by repeated self-pollination. Heterozygous condition should be converted into homozygous by repeated self-pollination. So that means parents should be in homozygous condition. Homozygous means capital T, like that, or small t, like that. The two alleles are same. So first of all, we have to select the parents. The desirable character should be in homozygous. If desirable characters are heterozygous, then heterozygous condition should be converted into homozygous by repeated self-pollination. See, this is the male parent and that is the female parent. This is one plant and this is another plant. See, this is androecium, stamen. This is gynoecium. Is it unisexual or bisexual flower? It is bisexual flower. A flower is having both the sex organs it is a bisexual flower. Here also it is a bisexual flower, isn't it? So we are taking the female parent. This is female parent. In this female parent, what I am going to do with the help of forceps? With the help of forceps, I am removing the stamens or anthers. This process is so called emasculation. Removal of anthers or stamens in bisexual flower of female parent is called emasculation. What is emasculation? Removal of anthers or stamens in bisexual flower of female parent or male parent. In female parent you have to do, not in male parent. That emasculation should be done in bisexual flower of female parent, not in male parent. That point you have to remember. So this emasculation is done. This flower is so called emasculated flower. Why we have to do emasculation? If stamen is present, no, from that stamen pollen grains are released and they fall on stigma. That means self-pollination will occur. So emasculation is useful to prevent self-pollination, to promote cross-pollination. Emasculation is to prevent self-pollination, to promote cross-pollination. Emasculation should be done in female parent, not in male parent. So this flower is called emasculated flower. Emasculated flower. Right. Now this emasculated flower is covered by polythene bag. This one is called polythene bag. This polythene bag is made up of butter paper. By which substance it is made up of? Butter paper. So the emasculated flower is covered by polythene bag. This is so called bagging. Bagging should be done in emasculated flower. When does it occur? After emasculation or before emasculation? This will be done after emasculation. So that means the emasculated flower is covered with polythene bag. Polythene bag is made up of butter paper. Next, after some time, this male parent, these anthers will mature and pollen grains are released. So that means from this, whenever the male parent matures, the pollen grains are collected from male parent. Pollen grains are collected from male parent and these are placed on stigma of female parent by removing the polythene bag. So I placed the pollen grains on the stigma by removing the polythene bag. After that, again this flower is closed with polythene bag. This process is so called rebagging. Rebagging. When does this rebagging should be done? After artificial cross pollination. After artificial cross pollination. So once again I am going to explain. This is the female parent and removal of anthers is called emasculation. Emasculation should be done in bisexual flower of female parent. After emasculation, this emasculated flower is covered by polythene bag. Is covered with polythene bag. This polythene bag is made up of butter paper. After some time, when male parent matures, the pollen grains are collected and these are placed on stigma by removing the polythene bag. This is so called artificial cross pollination. Pollen grains are collected from male parent and these are dusted on stigma of female parent. This is called artificial cross pollination. That means by man it should be done. That's why it is so called artificial cross pollination. After artificial cross pollination, again we are bagging. That's why it is so called rebagging. It is so called rebagging. Bagging should be done. When does that bagging should be done? When does that rebagging should be done? Bagging should be done after emasculation. Rebagging should be done after cross pollination. Those points you have to remember. After some time, the pollen grains produce pollen tube and then enters into style and then enters into ovary and then enters into ovule, and there fertilization occurs. After fertilization, ovary will develop into fruit and ovules will develop into seeds. Like that, fruits and seeds are formed. Fruits and seeds formation occurs. So, fruit and seed formation occurs. Later on, those seeds are sown in soil, F1 plants are obtained. That is so called F1 generation. Later on, from that plant, flowers are formed. Again, fertilization occurs. That is next F2 generation. Later on, F3 generation. Like that, the sequence is set. So, what the sequence is? First of all, you have to selection of parents. Next, emasculation. Next, bagging. Next, artificial cross pollination. Next, rebagging. Next, fruits and seed formation. Next, F1 generation. Next, F2 generation. F3 generation. Here, what type of flowers we have taken? We have taken the bisexual flowers. If we take unisexual flowers, there is no need to perform emasculation. So, emasculation is not required for unisexual flowers. What is emasculation? That is removal of stamens or anthers in bisexual flower of female parent is called emasculation. If unisexual flowers are taken means there is no need of emasculation. For bisexual flowers means this is the sequence we have to write. If unisexual flowers, steps of artificial hybridization means this one you have to write. That means selection of parents. Okay, same to same. Those parents should be in homozygous condition. Unisexual flowers means male parent means that flower is having only androecium. Female parent means that flower is having only gynoecium. So, no emasculation for unisexual flowers. Next, bagging, artificial cross pollination, rebagging, fruits and seeds formation, F1 generation, F2 generation, F3 generation. So, try to remember, my dear students, emasculation is required for either male parent or female parent. It should be female parent, not for male parent. This emasculation should be done in unisexual flower or bisexual flower. It should be done in bisexual flower, not in unisexual flower. Okay, are you understanding, my dear students? Okay, right. So, if the question is sequence of steps in artificial hybridization in bisexual flowers means you have to write this sequence. Steps of artificial hybridization in unisexual flowers means don't write this emasculation. For unisexual flowers, selection of parents, don't write emasculation. Bagging. Right. In parents, desirable character should be in homozygous condition. If desirable characters are in heterozygous condition, then heterozygous condition should be converted into homozygous condition by repeated self-pollination, isn't it? Emasculation. What is emasculation? Removal of anthers or stamens in bisexual flowers of female parent is called emasculation. We have to say here only female parent. Don't say male parent. Emasculation prevents self-pollination. self-pollination is also called autogamy. Emasculation promotes cross-pollination. Cross-pollination also called allogamy. Emasculation is done for bisexual flower of female parent. We have to say female parent only, don't say male parent. Next, go through these points, my dear students. Bagging prevents. Why we done bagging here? To prevent undesired cross-pollination. Unwanted pollen grains may fall on stigma. That's why we have to do bagging. So bagging prevents undesirable cross-pollination. Undesirable means unwanted. Undesirable means unwanted cross-pollination. In bagging, bag is made up of butter paper. Bagging occurs. When does this bagging occurs? That means after emasculation. Don't say before emasculation. This word is also very, very important. Before emasculation, after or after emasculation, we have to say after emasculation. This rebagging occurs. When does this rebagging occurs? After artificial cross-pollination. Emasculation is not required for what type of flowers? Emasculation is not necessary. Emasculation is not required. Is there any emasculation required for this male parent? No. For the male parent, emasculation is not required. So emasculation not required for first one, male parent, not required. Next one, female parent having unisexual flowers. If the female parent having unisexual flowers, emasculation is also not required. And third one, female parent having male sterile bisexual flowers in Brassica napus. Try to remember that plant name, Brassica napus. In Brassica napus, flowers are bisexual only. But what is that word here? Male sterile bisexual flowers. What does it mean? Flowers are bisexual, but the male part is sterile. If the anthers are sterile means no need to remove the anthers in Brassica napus. Are you understanding, my dear students? No need to remove the anthers if the male part is sterile. In which plant male part is sterile? Brassica napus. Brassica napus male part is sterile. That is, androecium is sterile. So emasculation is not required for means you have to write these 3 points. That is for male parent, female parent having unisexual flowers. Where do you find the unisexual flowers? Papaya, that is Carica papaya, Vallisneria, Borassus. And female parent having male sterile bisexual flowers in Brassica napus. So go through all these points and note down these points in your notes. I hope you are understanding, and we will meet in the next class. Thank you very much for watching this video.